bone breaker fall makers in the underwriting power climb, leaf collation to vibrate walls and drive us out of the mouldy crypt. Rental crisis is the annihilation of residents, and our discomfort is not a modicum of comparison, but a shadow in the shadows. The markers of time we edit into places. Towers to look into, out of reach. Grey stone bleeds and retracts its roots. Sea is remembered inland, is remembered a heat flare, an infrastructural blur, vertigo and buffeting of pump and tracer. Skin-shaped sculpture of meta or failed divine push out against forest sheltered under eaves, now cut into bog and sediments and conglomerates of old sandstone's red texture. Silence. Hear the waters rising, hear the dryness, hear the sentinel twisting I-beams to reach the oscillating shores of Patmos. Refuge for some, rebarbative for others. Generosity is the paths of water and reaching shelter. So we left the Neckar for the mizzen. Teardrop imploding and lighthouse pulsing out of the picture. Which country would you place us in, standing room only on local trains? Steps that retract. Rental crisis is the annihilation of residents, and our discomfort is not a modicum of comparison, but a shadow in the shadows, the markers of time we edit into places. Hear the waters rising, hear the dryness, hear the sentinel twisting the I-beams to reach the oscillating shores of Patmos. The sentinel twisting I-beams to reach the oscillating shores of Patmos. Sea is remembered inland, is remembered a heat flare, an infrastructural blur. Hear the waters rising, hear the dryness. Generosity is the paths of water and reaching shelter. So we left the Neckar for the mizzen. Hear the waters rising. Which country would you place us in, standing room only on local trains, steps that retract? All the things. Inland is remembered, vertigo and buffeting of pump and tracer. Oscillating shores of Patmos. Retract its roots. Towers to look into, out of reach. Grey stone bleeds and retracts its roots. Which country would you place us in, standing room only on local trains, steps that retract? Reaching the shelter, paths of water. So we left. Vertigo and buffeting of pump and tracer, skin-shaped sculpture of meta or failed divine push out against the forest sheltered under eaves, and now cut into bog and sediments and conglomerates. Sea is remembered, inland is remembered, a heat flare. Here the water's rising, here the water's rising. For the mizzen, teardrop imploding and lighthouse pulsing out of the picture. Bone breaker form makers in the underwriting. Power climb leaf collation to vibrate walls and drive us out of the mouldy crypt.